ANC veterans are distancing themselves from Ace Magashule's latest comments. The party's Secretary General hit the campaign trail in the Western Cape over the weekend. That's where Magashule made an appeal to Philippi voters, saying they should not waste their vote on a white man. ANC veterans are speaking out and calling for action from President Cyril Ramaphosa as well as the ANC's Integrity Commission. To discuss this, I'm now joined by one of the veterans, Mavuso Msimang, who's with me in studio. Afternoon to you, Mr. Msimang. Thank you for coming in. So, what exactly offended you so much from what Ace Magashule said?
If what is quoted as having said is correct, then that is offensive. You do not say people must not vote for an Indian person, a black person, or a white person. It's just totally wrong. In principle, it's wrong. It cannot be right in practice. That's what we're taking exception to. You
want the President and the Integrity Commission to act, but I'm curious about what power Cyril Ramaphosa, as party president, would have to discipline someone as senior as a Secretary General.
Well, you know, I don't know what form the president would choose to take. He must be reprimanded. Something stronger than that, if it can be done, should be done. Ace Magashule, our Secretary General, must understand that a senior leader of the African National Congress cannot, absolutely cannot, make the utterances that are attributed to him. I said somewhere today to somebody who I was talking to that if the leader of the FF Plus, Freedom Front Plus, I think that's what they're called, were to make a similar comment and say, white people, no, people must not vote for a black man. If that comment were made, there would be uproar. The Twitter space would be full of this racist person making such a call.
Let me ask you then for your view on those who say that, on your example, the context informed by South Africa's history would be the reason why an FF Plus comment in that vein would be received differently. Do you agree with that argument?
No, I don't. I mean, because you come from a racist background, you shouldn't continue with the racism. And because we come from a non-racist background, we can indulge in racism. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand the argument.
There's also the view then, just on Ace Magashule's comments in Philippi, that what he was talking about, and this is not from him, but people who have been commenting that he may not have been speaking about a white man per se, but the fact that, or the view at least by some, that the DA does indeed represent a white interest.
Oh, the DA has very many members, a lot of them black. I think it's disrespectful of them and very arrogant to say those people do not constitute an entity that is not white. They have a large black membership. So you can't really explain this away. It's just totally wrong.
Ace Magashule, I see here, has actually been speaking this afternoon. I want to read this to you. I'm not sure if you've seen it. He's been speaking to News 24, apparently. And here's the quote. He says, "I've explained that the ANC is a non-racial organization. They are white progressive Democrats who've been voting for the ANC, who will continue to vote for the ANC. There are many white South Africans who still vote for the ANC, but our main hope," he says, "is the black vote. And there's nothing wrong to say the DA does represent the white interest. It does represent the elite and the privileged." Do you think he's gone far enough in explaining himself?
No, that doesn't explain anything at all. It could be that the strongest interest, the controlling interest in the DA, in my opinion, is white. I don't know in terms of numbers how many are black, but if you look at the seniority and the leadership of the DA, it's you've got Mrs. Self and all the others. Yes, My Money is the head of the DA. But yes, there is a very strong economic influence, white economic influence in the DA. So that's the position.
Apart from the apology, Mr. Msimang, if Ace Magashule were to apologize, would that appease you as the ANC veterans, or would you still want him sanctioned in some way or form?
I think it's important for us that the people of South Africa, and not just the veterans, the people of South Africa become aware that the ANC does not subscribe to the views that the Secretary General expressed. It's very important that when we go out and seek the vote of South Africans, we do so regardless of the color of their skin. It's not just that we've been supported by white people in the past. We've got very strong, long-standing white persons who are members of the ANC. Now, if you're going to extrapolate and try to explain things away, the statement that was made was not about DA or anybody. Don't vote for DA because it represents white interests. I don't vote for a white person.
Senior, and Ace Magashule, you say, does not represent, you want to distance yourself at least, is what you're saying, from his views. But he is a senior leader in your party, the ANC. You, as the veterans, the likes of yourself and the other veterans are quite high up in the functioning of the ANC. Have you reached out to him in the time between now and yesterday?
No, I was somewhere else. No, we didn't. That's the short statement. I think if you're saying that a senior member of the ANC could make a statement like that, and those who object to it cannot object publicly until they've spoken to him, well, that's fine if you would be able to reach him, and then he would go quickly and say, listen, I made a statement, let me explain it, it's wrong. So
that's
it's a question of...
no means what I'm saying. What I'm trying to understand is what measures you as veterans have taken to sort of get a full understanding of what was said, because you're saying you're going on reports, and I'm not saying these are false reports, but I'm also trying to gauge your action on these comments. You want Luthuli House, the Integrity Commission, to act on this issue. Have you approached either Cyril Ramaphosa as party president or the Integrity Commission itself?
I really wonder why you are putting such a burden on people who are merely putting forward a position in the interest of the public. So you might say, oh, you guys, you just want publicity. We'll deal with that issue. But the fact of the matter is that we're dealing with a comment that you would never associate with a senior person of the leader of the ANC. Absolutely, that's the key thing here. Did we go about it the right way? I think in the given time, you know, the turnaround for these things, by the time you have consulted these people, it's more than 24 hours, and your Twitter space and all of these things have just gone. By the time you react, 48 hours later, if you can get them to give you that opinion by that time, it looks like, it's in retrospect, you know. They're doing this, but they didn't see anything wrong then. It is important. We would like to say that it is important that the public understands that the ANC, in terms of the values that it enshrines, its constitution, does not agree with statements of this nature.
And it certainly isn't my place to judge whether you've gone about it the right way. What I'm trying to establish is just what you're going to do beyond the issuing of this public statement. You are a group of senior ANC figures, and you do have the ear of the leadership in the party. So I would imagine that you'd want to get the ball rolling yourself as far as making sure that Ace Magashule is called forward to explain himself before a party structure, is it not?
We'll really not relent. This statement has been sent to the President's office. It has been sent to top ANC leaders. So we are taking that. Timing was very important in this instance. It was important that we get out to the public. Some of our colleagues are saying, guys, the first thing you do is to rush to the media. Time is of the essence when you deal with things like that. You people in the media pick this thing up very quickly, and there must be a reaction. And the reaction is, hey, this doesn't belong to the ANC. And you make it known. If our structures were perhaps less bureaucratic than allowing for waiting for a 24-hour period, maybe we could have gone there and hope, against hope, that Magashule, who still doesn't admit that he was wrong, would say, look, I am wrong. As of now, he's explaining the inexplainable away.
We're terribly out of time, but I want to get your assessment as someone who's lived through South Africa and its various transitions. When you look at race relations in this country in 2019, have we progressed at all, or have things got worse?
We have regressed. Social cohesion, relationships between the different people of different cultural backgrounds are really at a low. I can't determine whether it's the lowest of lows. It's really bad. But the ANC, which claims to be the leader of society and which at a certain time could be justified in making that limit, it is our responsibility to make sure that, for instance, we do not make statements like this that can only exacerbate what is already a bad situation.
What do you think is the reason for the regression then in race relations?
Very, very many things. I mean, you're finding racists shoot up Sparrow and a number of these other people. There is racism in the country. You're catching me there. There are very many reasons why, and it's not the ANC, by the way. I think we, for our part, could do something to enhance the non-racial perspective of the organization.
All right, ANC veteran Mavuso Msimang, thank you for your time.